If that is not Sabo in that tournament, in that final round that just showed up, then Oda is the biggest troll, because, I mean, it's just so freaking obvious. A lot of this chapter, from the beginning and the very last page, definitely is hinting, I mean, it has to be Sabo. I don't know why Oda is holding off on showing us his face. You know, he keeps on, like, having him showed off in the background, because now, you know, he's playing the part as Lucy, so he could, you know, pretty much win the Mera fruit. So I'm curious as to what's making Oda shadow him out for this long. Is he just trying to build up the anticipation? Is it because Sabo looks very different? Is it because he's going to troll the entire fandom? I'm just curious as to what is it that's making him stop from, you know, what is stopping him from showing us Sabo's face, if that is indeed Sabo. I mean, it's 99.9% of that Sabo. It's been hinted in every which way, and unless Oda decides to give us a big finger fuck you to, you know, the fandom, that's Sabo. This chapter definitely got my anticipation up to see what Sabo can actually do, because, you know, he just entered the final round of the tournament. I'm curious as, you know, are we actually going to be able to see this final block? Because, first of all, we got Doflamingo's people that are going to be in there, the hero Diamante. I believe we also have Jesus Burgess in there. There's going to be a lot of people in there. Rebecca. There's going to be quite a few people in this Bartolomeo. So I'm really curious to see Sabo flex out and see what he can possibly do. How is he going to win this one, if he is indeed going to win this one? I mean, out of all the people in this tournament bracket, you know, the final round, who's really going to win the Mera fruit? It would be really dumb, in my opinion, if, you know, Doflamingo's crew actually won it back. Yeah, we won it back. You know, we got it back. It's definitely up to either Jesus Burgess, Bartolomeo, Rebecca, or Sabo, aka Lucy. Small progression, not that interesting, but still small progression, with Violet kind of bringing them more towards into the kingdom, you know, throwing the rock or whatever. Not really all that interesting with that stuff, other than, you know, getting confirmation that she's Rebecca's aunt, you know, little stuff like that, but that really wasn't all that interesting, and kind of felt like just kind of showing them, like, progressing slowly into the kingdom, but I felt as though it was really unneeded. Just, like, show us when they're at the kingdom, you know, they're barging into the doors or something. Okay, what the fuck is up with this so hard-boiled shit? Like, that kind of threw me off. It's, like, too weird and funny at the same time, with the Senor Pink guy with his pacifier and shit. I was just like, why is that a compliment that he's so hard-boiled? Is it because the Japanese like boiled eggs? And I thought it was kind of a touching moment where you see that Senor Pink got fucked up because of the man behind him, one of his peoples. And it kind of like, can this guy be that bad when he's actually taking a hit for his people? When you see a little bit of an honorable moment amongst a person, even if they're necessarily doing bad things, you kind of got to look at them with at least a little bit of admiration and respect. So I could give that much. And the fight with him and Franky, I'm just loving it. Like, you know, last week's chapter, yeah, Franky was getting suplexed or whatever, but the fact that Franky is going in by himself and he's fighting not only Senor Pink, but now Mock Bryce as well, by himself, is like, respect Franky, please. And believe me, Franky isn't one of my favorites of the Straw Hats, but the fact that Oda is giving him his time to shine is very valuable. Then you got the Marines surrounding all of them, and then that leads into the Fujitora scene. And I'm curious as to the admirable quality of Senor Pink, and even Mock Bryce to an extent, because Mock Bryce doesn't seem all that bad. Maybe, you know, just off my impression or whatever. Would they actually be like, yo, we're in the middle of a fight, you're not taking him right now, we're going to finish him off, and actually, you know, help him out amongst the Marines? Because I believe one of the Vice Admirals is there, and can Franky really fight a Vice Admiral? That's a good question. And then we get probably the most important part of the chapter, and that's Fujitora's goal. He's like, yo, I'm a newbie. Everybody looking at me like I'm a newbie, but I have a big goal in mind. And I'm going to dismantle the system of the Royal Shichibukai. This newcomer got some big dreams, though. That kind of gave me chills, because it's like, yo, you want to destroy a system or get rid of a system that's been around for a while, and this is how, you know, it makes things work. This is the powers. This is how it goes. But to me, to be honest with you, I feel as though he has the right mindset, because at the end of the day, the reason why he wants to get rid of it is because he sees where, okay, you have this kingdom right now that is being ruled by a pirate. And at the end of the day, this is an evil pirate. This isn't like a Luffy pirate, which it's interesting how they look at, like, Luffy, and it's almost funny that they look at Luffy like he's a worse pirate than Doflamingo, since they're working with Doflamingo. It's like, yeah, this guy is wrecking everything around, but he has the right mindset, I feel. It's just that him laying out his cards on the table and kind of telling Doflamingo that he's trying to dismantle the system is like, yeah, shit's gonna get real. And it's definitely kind of leading all into everything around what's going on in this island, how they're kind of trying to rope the Straw Hats, and you see the Marines everywhere and everything's going down. It could possibly be that on Fujitora's orders, he pretty much is like gonna try to rope up every single pirate on this island. And then we get that little clash, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Yo, they're gonna have a little clash right here. It simmered down real quick, him and Doflamingo, but nonetheless, Fujitora laying out the cards where he's trying to do something real big. And it makes me curious if he has, like, you know, this big goal. Do any of the other admirals, we don't don't know who's the other new admiral right now. I believe he was just referenced as Green Bull, but does he have his own goal, or she, you know, if it's a female or guy? I'm hoping it's a female. That throw a little bit of a variety, but does Green Bull have their own goal? Also, does Kizaru have a goal? Is there a goal within Kizaru, or he's just, his only ultimate goal is to just troll people to death? Either way, it's still freaking interesting to see that Fujitora has a giant goal, and I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen from here on out? And then again, that finale part with Sabo going into the ring. I mean, Ichiro Oda, what's the point of making us wait to see what he looks like? Is there like a giant dash going through his face or something? Is he missing an eye? Like, why would you make us wait this goddamn long to see him? Or is it has to be that he's just drumming it up for anticipation for when he finally does do the reveal. It's gonna be like, you know, oh shit, something like that, because either way, it's like every freaking point, you know, if it smells like a Sabo, looks like a Sabo, tastes like a Sabo. I don't know how the fuck we're tasting Sabo, but fuck it. It's Sabo. I'm gonna give this one 7.5 out of 10. Overall, I felt it was a good chapter. Definitely a bit better than last week's chapter. Didn't really necessarily need the whole Luffy and them scene kind of progressing into the kingdom. I mean, for the most part, we know they're supposed to be going into there. I would rather just see when they finally arrive there. And also, it was just adding information that we already know, like Violet being the aunt to Rebecca. So, uninteresting, but besides that, everything else was pretty damn good. That Fujitora. Let me know what you guys think. First of all, Fujitora's goal, is it too out there? Do you think that as just an admiral, not even fleet admiral, do you think he should be having goals like that, like wanting to dismantle the system of the Shichibukai? Also, what do you think is the reasoning behind Eiichiro Oda holding off on showing us what Sabo really looks like? Is it because he just wants to drum up anticipation? You think there's something else to it? Does he look a bit different because maybe he ate a new devil fruit? Or are we just being trolled to death by somebody that, you know, it's not even him? Do you think Oda's just fucking with us? And just your overall thoughts of the chapter. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see Sabo put in some work in this final round. Hopefully we get to see him go in. On ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.